Hi, I'm. I was It was a very difficult week because I have a lot of work and I'm so tired. But I want to be here.
Excellent. That's pretty good. Thank you very much. Well, you know what? Yes, it has been a very difficult week because, well, with all of of this situation, we have had lots of many more activities that were not planned. But anyway, we are here. That's it. Welcome, everyone. And please tell me,
Thanks.
Aurora, how has your week been? What did you do? Um, well, yes, what did you go? Did you do? Because where did you go? No, but what did you do?
No, in fact, yes. Where did I go or went? I am still working at the office. I'm working for security enterprise. Then we can stop operations.
That's it. And so, how are you working now? So, you are still working at the office? You told me.
Yeah, I'm still going to the office. Um, I'm we using tracks for this for shredder information. Then at this moment, the enterprise is going still shredder this information. Then I have to stay at the office to see my team for uh, tell tell they how to work,
Tell them.
prepare yeah, all the information, the papers, the service order, all the things.
Yeah, that's it. And so, how do you see the situation in the streets? Is there people coming and going? Um,
Um, at the principal places, no. For example, at the downtown, there's nobody in the streets. Nobody at, for example, at 10 p.m. at Cinco de Mayo Street,
yeah,
there nobody. It's incredible for me.
yeah,
But
that's it.
at the place where, yeah, at the place I work, I'm working by Vallejo.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the 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 people going still going to work.
Yeah.
Not to 100%, but I still see. I don't know how to say that. I'm still see people in the metrobus, for example.
Uh-huh.
There are all the places are full when you sit down.
That's it. Uh,
Yeah,
I think that there has been a decrease of the people, but
yeah,
not at all. Not at all. So it is not the same as always, but yes, there are a few less people.
yeah.
That's it. All right. And how do you take care of yourself?
I'm washing my hands all the time. I think maybe 10 times at the day.
Yeah.
um, and I using the mode. How do you say that? Uh, for for cover my mouth
Ah,
at the beginning.
uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
but at the first week of the coronavirus, I have temperature, and my enterprise sent me to the doctor,
Yeah.
and I don't have anything. I am only have a stomach
Stomachache?
stomachache. Yeah, and the doctor tells me that the you have to cover your mouth when you are sick, and
Uh-huh.
then I don't use it for that reason.
That's it. Yeah, because, well, if you are coming and going, of course, you have to be careful of your health also. All right,
Yeah.
excellent. Well, thank you very much, Aurora. And now let's ask to Alexandra. Diana, hello. All right. So, Alexandra, what about you? Are you staying home? Are you working? What are you doing?
I'm working. I have much more work than before. This because it's more difficult to prepare the classes online, and because I have a lot of PhD work, and that's it.
Yeah.
So here I'm here in home.
Yeah, you know what? Some people used to think that we teachers who are at home are not doing anything. They say, oh, it's a lot of vacation time they have. But no,
No,
a lot of work.
it's worst. I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
It's much easier to,
I
yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah, please continue.
I have seen many people on the streets here in Coyoacan. The people uh, don't respect. No,
Yeah, don't
how do you say?
respect.
Yes, here are a lot of people in the streets, and they don't use any cubrebocas or anything, and in the for example, when you go to the market or when you go to the supermarket, I don't know, when you
Yeah,
go for food,
yeah.
they don't mm, I don't know, how do you say espacio vital.
Vital
In the
space.
Yes, they don't respect anything. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it's incredible how people don't understand that it is a situation important. It's an important situation for everybody. And well, if you don't care about your health, the others do. And so it is not a decision that we can make, it's an obligation. But anyway, yes, as you said, okay. Sometimes we say,
And they make fun. They make fun of those who we do.
yeah,
They say, it's the government, and that's not true. Or I listen a lot of things of that
yeah. And
kind of that
sometimes you say, okay, it's the government in all in all the world,
in
because,
all the world. Yes.
because this is not a situation that it's happening only in Mexico. It's in the whole world, and we take the best part because we don't have such an amount of died people, casualties. I mean, but for example, in the United States, there have been lots of thousands of dead people, casualties of this pandemic. So how we
Yes,
don't understand. But anyway, all
there
right.
is a terrible situation in the world. Yes.
Yeah, I think that the most difficult situation in the world even is not the sickness, it's not the virus. It's the attitude of people who don't want to
It's
help.
the people. Yes, they don't obey.
Yeah, they don't respect the rules, they don't obey, they don't want to participate in any. And so they said, "Nah, the government is doing everything." Okay, that's it.
Exactly.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Alex. And so,
Thanks.
thank you. Diana, hello, how are you? Diana,
Hi, I'm
hello.
good. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, hi. I'm
Excellent.
good. Thank you.
Excellent. So talk to us about yourself. What are you doing? Are you still working?
I'm not working.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I have been at home. I haven't go out, gone out.
Gone.
Gone. hmm
Hey, that's it. And how do you feel?
I didn't believe in this at the beginning, like many people, but I have seen news and I realized that this is happening in the world, not only in this country, because we sometimes think of, like you said, government says something to control people, and we used to think of this, but I I have been believing in this virus,
Uh-huh. Yeah, so
and I think it's really hard. And some people are not doing the right thing, because I have read some comments on social media or on YouTube, and some people say, I'm gonna go on vacation, because it's not real. It's a joke.
yeah, that's it. And it is sad because we were commenting about this.
hmm
Not in Mexico only, it is in all the world. So I have been listening and watching the news about Ecuador, and it is painful how people are dying on the streets. Ecuador is dying. Maybe
on the street.
you can
Yeah,
you
it's
can
terrible.
rely you can rely on the media, but guess what? We have a student who is living in Ecuador. He's also in
Mhm.
B1, and he is really worried. He talks to us about all the situation that he sees what is living the people in Ecuador, and it is really sad. It's incredible. So that in that moment I said, of course, yes, it is not only that they want, we said that the government wanted us to be in our houses at home because they are doing something behind us. But what's happening in Ecuador then? What's happening in New York? What's happening in Italy? That people are dying for thousands every day. So it's incredible. It's not possible that this is happening. But well, in in other way, it's part of the history, and we have to learn from it. Okay, well, thank you very much. Guess what? Today we are going to talk about business. It is going to be a very interesting class. Here we go. So the question for you today is, are you an entrepreneur? What about you, Alex? Are you an entrepreneur? Alexandra, hello.
Entrepreneur. it's like person who do their things alone, or
Well, entrepreneur is a person who does a business, who does something profitable, maybe not a company, but maybe a small business. For example,
okay.
if you are having an online store, then you are an entrepreneur. Or if you have a stationery at home, if you sell food, or if you do something and sell it by the internet, you are an entrepreneur. Well, I am going to give you a little example. I am
Okay.
trying to be an entrepreneur and I am doing some jewelry. Look, can you see? This is an
Yes.
yeah, and so I am doing these things and I am selling them by the internet. I have my page on Facebook and so
Oh,
I am promoting my own brand. My brand is Tlanesi Artesanías. So I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. That's it.
okay.
What about you?
I think that if I give math private lessons, maybe I could be a business girl. I don't know. I don't hear you.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It was my microphone. Yes, you will be
Okay.
entrepreneur. The word entrepreneur means into Spanish emprendedor. The people who start
Okay.
to run a business.
Okay.
Okay, so you are having private classes,
Yes.
and how do you do them, or how do you promote them?
When I'm studying in math, one of my first work was uh, to to create these classes or private lessons, and I put a cartulina. How do you say? I don't hear you.
I'm sorry, it's my microphone. Yeah,
Okay.
advertisement.
Advertisement.
Ajá, anuncio, advertisement.
Okay. Or cardboard
Ajá, an advertisement on a cardboard.
out of my house, and the people go to my house and um, how do you say, go and tell me, I want a math class of primary or secondary or high school, or maybe um, uh, I'm an engineer and I'm studying engineer and I want a class. So I say, okay, I cobro.
Ajá, I earn.
I earn X
X
money.
quantity, yeah.
So yes, and that I was.
Hey, that's it. That's pretty good. And are you working presentially?
Yes, presentially, but now online.
Hey, that's it. You know
uh,
what? Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yes, I hear you.
Yeah, that's it. You know what?
There's a moment that I can hear you. Mhm.
Yeah, it's the internet. All right. Yes, you know what?
Okay.
I think that now that we have discovered that it is not a whole science and it is not so difficult, it is not a pain in the neck
Yes.
working online, and people is discovering that it is possible and it is not so painful as they thought. I think that this market will be opened because, of course, whenever you are working online, you don't need the facilities You just need a computer, an internet signal. You can have into your room lots of people, and you can be sending them their material. So it is a user-friendly situation. The only one thing that you need to do if you are going to work online is to monitor your students, not to let them alone. It's what we do.
Exactly.
To be with them in all
But
the.
this is the difficult.
Mm-hmm.
This is the difficult part, because they think that you can be microeconomic. I I read a message that you are always disponible, that you are always
available.
Exactly. So
And
that's not good.
yeah, that's it. Even in here, it happens to us because I am receiving messages at 2 o'clock in the morning, and at first,
Yes.
I answer at 2 o'clock in the morning. I used to answer the messages and the emails, but I said, Maggie, what are you doing? And so I told to my boss.
Yes, no, it's not good.
Yeah, so they told me, no, Maggie, stay a limit, establish a limit. 10 o'clock is the limit. 11 o'clock, nobody answers, that's it. And on weekends, still this time to this other time, because you also have a life. So it is not possible not to sleep, because the students are working by night and they want you to be awake because they are. So no, establish a limit and tell them, you know what, I won't answer your.
But not only your message, but not only send you WhatsApp message or Messenger message. Oh, they call me.
I establish also whenever.
Miss, I don't understand.
Whenever you packed, whenever you arrange with them the classes, say no phone calls. Why not? What happens if I need help? Okay, in the time that we are going to be giving the service, providing the service, okay, no phone calls, only WhatsApp messages from this time to this time. But if I need help, I'm sorry, I need to sleep. So I need to leave also. Maybe you are sleeping in the moment
Yes.
I am working, and you want me to be working in the moment I should be sleeping. Yeah, establish limits, because it is, it's something like in school. Whenever you are at school, of course you are not going to be talking your teachers by phone. So it is similar.
Yes.
It is similar. So make them understand that no, you won't answer. Why not? Because you have the service online. That's it. Not auditive.
Yes, and talking about entrepreneur, this week I have taken my first online yoga classes. So that's really good.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, that's nice. And was it by video conference or just by video?
By video conference at Zoom too.
Wow. Hey, that's
So
wonderful.
the teacher can see our movements.
Yeah.
So they can say, you don't do like that. You have to do this form.
Wow.
That's good. I really like it.
That's wonderful. I didn't think that it could be possible, but yes, you are. You know what? I have a little
Yes.
student who is visiting a psychologist. And of course, now he can
Okay.
to his therapy. And he told me, guess what, teacher? My psychologist gave me my therapy by FaceTime. Oh, that's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and now doctors can also work by video conference. And I said,
Yes.
how do you do it? And they said, okay, you are going to send me a photograph by WhatsApp of the part that is hurting you, if it is your knee, for example, or your ankle.
Yes.
And I am asking you questions about how you feel, and we are directing. I can't touch your feet, for example, your knees, but I can listen to you, how you feel, and well, that helps. Oh my, that's it.
What?
Technology.
Yes, if you want, I pass you the link.
Yeah,
The link of the
excellent.
yoga.
Wow, thank you. Yes, that's gonna be good. Incredible. Thank you, Alex. So you are an entrepreneur. Just look at this. What you have to do nowadays, you have dreamed. Uh-huh. Now you have to plan, to establish all the rules, to set all the goals, and later on to do. And whenever you do everything and it is running, then you are an entrepreneur. But yes, first of all, plan. Think about all the things that are not convenient for you and modify them. And do, it's okay. That's pretty good. Claps for you. Okay. So, Aurora, what about you? Are you an entrepreneur? Aurora, don't
Hi,
go.
sorry.
Okay.
Hi. Did you hear me?
Yes, I can listen to you.
Ah, great, great, great. At this moment, no, but a few years ago, I am entrepreneur
Entrepreneur.
with a entrepreneur with a enterprise of decoration for the parties. I make I was I make it or I did it center tables or invitations for parties, decorations. One time I have
Once.
a
What?
15 party.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
and
Once I had
yeah, and how do you say quinceañera?
15-year-old
And the
old
girl, a 15-year party, yeah. And the girl asks for the um, Alice in Wonderful theme, and I made all the characters at the real size for taking photos.
Wow. Hey, that was
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, it was really really fun and complicated, but I like it. Then in other times I made photo books for baby showers, other uh, other lifetime events,
Yeah.
and weddings too.
Hey, that's great.
But yeah, but I can't live of that, and
Uh,
I choose Godin life,
mhm.
but I like it. Mhm.
That was nice, and I think that it was something that involved a lot of invests a lot of time. So maybe,
Yeah,
as you said, it was not as profitable as necessary.
yeah. I don't have the necessary resources at
Mm,
that time. Then maybe at this time I have the resources, but I don't have time.
yeah, that's it.
But
But yes.
yeah, but sometimes I made that things for
Mhm.
friends or other people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it has been a very nice experience you had. So
Yeah.
not only to do that activity, but also how to run a business. And you can also identify what were the weaknesses, what were the points that didn't help you, the weaknesses and the menaces. So maybe if you would plan to run a business later on, now you have the experience and now you know how to do it and how to advertise it, how much to earn, and that's it. Hey, congratulations to you, Aurora.
Thank you. In fact, I choose this career for a complement this activity. I am studying international marketing.
Wow, hey, claps for you. Who knows, maybe in the future you are going to run a business and it will be a really big business. Hey, that's great. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Claps for you. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Diana, what about you? Are you an entrepreneur?
Not yet. I was an entrepreneur because when I was in secondary school, I learned to make some rosaries, jewelry like collars, bracelets, rings. And then when I was in high school, I finished, um, but I couldn't get my diploma because I had no money. But my mm, what I was learning in secondary school helped me get money by selling jewelry, rosaries, and the things what I learned to make in secondary school. With that money, I paid my diploma in high school.
Hey,
Then I have been working. I had been working in sales because I'm great with sales. But last year I decided to change my direction, and I'd like to start my page, my online page, to to teach Spanish in italki. It's like this page, but it's
hey,
another
that's
one.
great. You know what? It works very well. And so yes, you can do it online. You know what? I was working also with a person, a German, with a German person who was living here in Mexico. He was running a business and he needed to learn how to speak Spanish. And so I was working
Yeah.
with him online and it was very fun. And of course, you can do very good, you can make very good money. Just,
Yeah, I need to have a certification like TOEIC, TOEFL, or another, or other to enroll in this business.
uh-huh. Hey, that's great. And you will do it, I'm sure of that.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
congratulations to you. Claps for you. That's wonderful. All right. Guess what, girls? Now we are going to watch a video. It is going to be a very interesting one. Let me show you the video. Give me a moment because I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Here it is. Now let's watch it. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes,
Now,
but no, I can play.
by you?
Yes, I can see it, but it doesn't play yet.
Okay, here we go.
I'm really excited to share with you some findings that really surprised me about what makes companies succeed the most, what factors actually matter the most for startup success. I believe that the startup organization is one of the greatest forms to make the world a better place. If you take a group of people with the right equity incentives and organize them in a startup, you can unlock human potential in a way never before possible. You get them to achieve unbelievable things. But if the startup organization is so great, why do so many fail? That's what I wanted to find out. I wanted to find out what actually matters most for startup success. And I wanted to try to be systematic about it, avoid some of my instincts and maybe misperceptions I have from so many companies I've seen over the years. I wanted to know this because I've been starting businesses since I was 12 years old, when I sold candy at the bus stop in junior high school, to high school when I made solar energy devices, to college when I made loudspeakers. And when I graduated from college, started software companies. And 20 years ago, I started Idea Lab. And in the last 20 years, we started more than 100 companies, many successes and many big failures. We learned a lot from those failures. So I tried to look across what factors accounted the most for company success and failure. So I looked at these 5. First, the idea. I used to think that the idea was everything. I mean, I named my company Idea Lab and how much I worship the aha moment when you first come up with the idea. But then over time, I came to think that maybe the team, the execution, adaptability, that mattered even more than the idea. I never thought I'd be quoting boxer Mike Tyson on the TED stage, but he once said, "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face." And I think that's so true about business as well. So much about a team's execution is its ability to adapt to getting punched in the face by the customer. The customer is the true reality. And that's why I came to think that the team maybe was the most important thing. Then I started looking at the business model. Does the company have a very clear path generating customer revenues? That started rising to the top in my thinking about maybe what mattered most for success. Then I looked at the funding. Sometimes companies received intense amount of funding. Maybe that's the most important thing. And then of course the timing. Is the idea way too early and the world's not ready for it? Is it early, meaning you're in advance and you have to educate the world? Is it just right, or is it too late and there's already too many competitors? So I tried to look very carefully at these 5 factors across many companies. And I looked across all 100 Idea Lab companies and 100 non-Idea Lab companies to try and come up with something scientific about it. So first, on these Idea Lab companies, the top 5 companies, CitySearch, Cars Direct, GoTo, NetZero, Tickets.com, those all became billion-dollar successes. And the 5 companies on the bottom, Z.com, Insider Pages, MyLife, Desktop Factory, People Inc., we all had high hopes for, but didn't succeed. So I tried to rank across all of those attributes how I felt those companies scored on each of those dimensions. And then for non-Idea Lab companies, I looked at wild successes like Airbnb and Instagram and Uber and YouTube and LinkedIn, and some failures. Webvan, Cosmo, Pets.com, Flues, and Friendster. The bottom companies had intense funding. They even had business models in some cases, but they didn't succeed. I tried to look at what factors actually accounted the most for success and failure across all of these companies, and the results really surprised me. The number one thing was timing. Timing accounted for 42% of the difference between success and failure. Team and execution came in second, and the idea, the differentiability of the idea, the uniqueness of the idea, that actually came in third. Now, this isn't absolutely definitive. It's not to say that the idea isn't important, but it very much surprised me that the idea wasn't the most important thing. Sometimes it mattered more when it was actually timed. The last 2, business model and funding, made sense to me, actually. I think business model makes sense to be that low because you could start out without a business model and then add one later if your customers are demanding what you're creating. And funding, I think as well. If you're underfunded at first, but you're gaining traction, especially in today's age, it's very, very easy to get intense funding. So now let me give you some specific examples about each of these. So take a wild success like Airbnb, everybody knows about. Well, that company was famously passed on by many smart investors because people thought, no one's going to rent out a space in their home to a stranger. Of course, people proved that wrong. But one of the reasons it succeeded, aside from a good business model, a good idea, great execution, is the timing. That company came out right during the height of the recession when people really needed extra money. And that maybe helped people overcome their objection to renting out their own home to a stranger. Same thing with Uber. Uber came out, incredible company, incredible business model, great execution too, but the timing was so perfect for their need to get drivers into the system. Drivers were looking for extra money. It was very, very important. Some of our early successes, CitySearch came out when people needed web pages. GoTo.com, which we announced actually at TED in 1998, was when companies were looking for cost-effective ways to get traffic. We thought the idea was so great, but actually the timing was probably maybe more important. And then some of our failures. We started a company called Z.com. It was an online entertainment company. We were so excited about it. We raised enough money. We had a great business model. We even signed incredibly great Hollywood talent to join the company. But broadband penetration was too low in 1999, 2000. It was too hard to watch video content online. You had to put codecs in your browser and do all this stuff. And the company eventually went out of business in 2003. Just 2 years later, when the codec problem was solved by Adobe Flash, and when broadband penetration crossed 50% in America, YouTube was perfectly timed. Great idea, but unbelievable timing. And in fact, YouTube didn't even have a business model when it first started. It wasn't even certain that that would work out. But that was beautifully, beautifully timed. So what I would say in summary is execution definitely matters a lot. The idea matters a lot, but timing might matter even more. And the best way to really assess timing is to really look whether consumers are really ready for what you have to offer them. And to be really, really honest about it, not be in denial about any results that you see. Because if you have something you love, you want to push it forward. But you have to be very, very honest about that factor on timing. As I said earlier, I think startups can change the world and make the world a better place. I hope some of these insights can maybe help you have a slightly higher success ratio and thus make something great come to the world that wouldn't have happened otherwise. Thank you very much. It's been a great audience.
Okay, can you listen to me? Hi, can you hear
Yes.
me? Excellent, that's it.
Yes.
Okay, what could you understand about the video? What about you, Alex?
I hear that he talked about the factors of that a business have succeed or not. So they talk about the idea of a business, the execution. Do you say execution? Execution, and but he talk about the timing or the choice at the right time of the business.
Yay, that's great, excellent.
And that you have to adapt your business to the consumer.
To the customer needs.
Customer needs, exactly.
Yes, that's it. And he mentioned some companies. Do you remember what were the companies that he mentioned?
I don't hear the companies. I concentrate about the ideas.
That's it. All right.
The general ideas.
Excellent. That's it. Thank you very much, Alex.
Yes.
Diana, what about you? What could you understand about the video?
Yes. He started talking about how he started up an organization with more, which founded more than 100 companies in last 20 years. He said that if somebody gathered a group of people with certain abilities, they could do incredible things. He said that starting up an organization or a company could make the world a better place. Um, and he shared his perceptions, um, which come from somebody's companies that he had seen over the years. Um, and he explained what facts made his companies fail or succeed.
Hey, that's it. Excellent. Thank you very much. And could you understand what were the companies that he mentioned as examples of this?
Uh, I I understood that he he said that timing was an important fact which worked for Uber, because he said uh, Uber um, is a company we Uber is a company that was started up in a great time, and he it its success was thank to the timing.
Yes, that's it. Excellent.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
very much.
because the timing was right for them, because it's not too early. It wasn't too early or too late. I
Yeah, that's
understood that.
it. Excellent. Thank you very much. Yes, he mentioned Uber as one of the examples for timing, and he mentioned also Airbnb. He said that, of course, the idea was good, but maybe at the time that it was thought, many people said, hey, who is going to rent a space of their houses to strangers, or who is going to use their car as taxis? But the time was that people was needing money, so that's why the idea was not only good, but also it was a boom. And now Airbnb and Uber are very successful companies. So yes, the idea was to stay to be in the correct moment when people really need the service you are providing, or observe what are the needs for people and run a business about it. Hey, thank you very much. And so
You're
I would
welcome.
like to ask you a personal question. Could you find any useful idea in this video, useful for you personally? What about
Yeah,
you?
the
Yeah.
oh it the question is for me, or
Yes, yes, Diana.
oh, I'm sorry. I can see the faces, your faces, so I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I thought you was talking to another girl.
No, it's okay. It's for you, Diana. Well,
Okay,
in
yeah,
fact, the question is going to be for everybody. But yes, please, you
okay,
first.
yeah. It's useful for me the part which he described the order um, of important facts to run a business, like idea, team, funding, business model, and timing.
Hey, that's
And the
it.
order, he said, it's interesting because he said that timing it's the first important thing, and I thought it was it, it would be money. I think it's funding. Funding is money, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Diana. So, Alex, what about you? Could you find any interesting idea here for you? Alexandra, hello. She may be having problems with her microphone. What about Aurora? Aurora, hello. Well, I guess that they are having.
Here, no,
Okay.
I'm here. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
I understood about the video, the importance about timing. When you ask about the enterprises we can hear, I hear about Kodak and YouTube. In the case of YouTube, I understood that him says that there wasn't the time in 1992 because it was too early. Too early because for the environment conditions, the internet, it wasn't fast. The people doesn't see YouTube like or like a business. Only until this time, YouTube YouTube is a business for the advertisements, for the commercials, for the followers, for all that kind of situations about this time. That
Yeah.
maybe in 1992, it wasn't happen. No.
Yes, that's it.
Personally, I think I don't see it the time like a factor. Even I study arts, for example, for Van Gogh. At the time, at him time, the conditions doesn't. Sorry.
At his time.
At his time, the conditions doesn't was the ideals for him.
Yeah.
No, Van Gogh dies poor and alone, and today Van Gogh is the most incredible artist for many people.
Yeah.
Then tell me.
Yeah, I was going to comment that you are right. Maybe at his time, his compositions, his style was not very well appreciated, but now he has been an icon.
Yeah. Then I take for me or I take from this video the factor time, the timing.
Yeah.
Normally I don't see it. Yeah.
You know what? It was useful also for me. Yes. All right. Well, you know what? I think that we could.
I can't hear you. Very well.
Now, can you
Hello?
listen to me? Can you hear me? Hi. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here again. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe it's my internet signal also. It is not working very well, or there are many cell phones or many devices connected. I'm going to talk to my family. All right. Well,
okay.
Thank you very much for your attendance, for your attention, and of course, for your participation. And well, meet you next class. Have a very good day, a very good weekend. And guess what? Next week, we are not going to have classes, conversation classes, because we are going to have a recess. And we are going to have a recess also in the platform activities. You are going to be able to continue working if you want to, but we are not going to assign a new unit, so you can catch up in that time. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a happy recess time and meet you next.
Thank you, Miss. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.